You're welcome on board. Were you just scrolling by and then you came across this channel? Yes. This is Married Grace Academy. This is that channel where we upload videos on relationship and on parenting. But right now, today, I'll be doing a video on principles and I'll be talking about 10 of them. Principles to a successful relationship. What are those principles that can make your relationship successful and fulfill its purpose? And then I like you to pay keen attention as we roll. Number one, principle of vision of the relationship. Without vision, the people perish. So you need to have a vision for running that relationship. Why is that relationship existing? I've seen many relationships not work. Why? Because there was no plan for that relationship from the onset. I heard of a story of a young lady who got into a relationship of 6 months, and after 6 months, she's pregnant. And then she's wild at that. Why is she wild? Because initially that relationship does not even have a vision. So, but if you have a vision, it makes you know the kind of decision to make, what kind of actions to do, to take at a particular time or the other. But without vision, everything goes and anything also goes. And so, vision is one thing that will help your relationship to thrive, even in the midst of all others. Number two, principle of living to cleave. Now, I agree, it's still a relationship, right? But you should have at the back of your mind that the day you say, yes, I do to that guy, then you'll be ready to leave your both parents to be joined to this guy. And so, what does this mean? If you don't leave, you cannot cleave. Who are you living for? What are you living from? You are leaving your both parents. You are also leaving the immediate homes where you have been brought up. Yes, you need to leave. Emotionally, you need to also leave them. You need to detach yourself from your father, from your mother, so that you don't end up being a daddy's girl or a mommy's boy. You need to grow, and so you have to leave to keep. However, financially, whether you are the guy and then you want to start a home, you also need to leave and be independent and stand on your own. Number three, principle of accountability. Yes, you need an accountability system that can make that relationship to thrive. You need a tutor or a counselor or a relationship coach, one who can pace that relationship, one who can help that relationship to say this is what is needed per time, per season in that relationship. It is such a person that can say, with the eye of God and with the wisdom of God, to say, these are things you should do now, these are things we should still put into the nearest future, and all of that. You even need a courtship plan. Await my courtship plan. It's a step-by-step guide that helps you to know what and what you should do even while in courtship. So you need principle of accountability. Accountability to the system or the religious organization that your spouse belongs to, or the church setting your spouse or partner belongs to. So you need that accountability system. If your relationship is also under a relationship coach, you both need to be accountable to that relationship coach. And then number four, principle of togetherness or agreement. I once heard a lady said, well, I want to get married. There's this man I want to marry. He's a businessman, but I'm a nurse. And I think we are not compatible. And then she feels they cannot agree on that terms. The truth is, it's not a big deal. But then the issue is, what needs to be done is for both of them to sit down, put the issue on the table, and then agree. Put things to terms. What are we going to do with this, with that? Because if two do not agree and they want to work together, it is not going to be possible. So there needs to be agreement. Oh, this is the vision for why this relationship is existing. And so if the two of them do not agree for that reason, that relationship will struggle. So there's need for both of you to agree to the vision of that relationship. And then the next number five, principle of communication. Top of the issues that relates to marriage is caused by lack of communication skill. Communication itself is a skill. Many people have not learned how to communicate well. Many do not even understand body language of their partner. They don't, when the partner says A, they said no, the partner said AA. Okay, so that's misunderstanding. The feedback is not gotten correctly. And so communication has not started. I mean, you thought you communicated, but then your partner never got you well. So it means you have not done your good job. So both of you need to be trained for this. You need to be groomed. You need to have that skill, how to communicate, how to understand your body language, how to understand gestures, how to understand the nitty-gritty of communication, and then begin to put it into practice even while you are in your relationship. If you can build this bedrock, even while you are both friends in your relationship, it will help your marriage. Number six, principle of commitment. I want to go to Abuja, and then I've told my partner I'm going to Abuja. But then my partner says, you can go, I will join you whenever I feel like. There's no commitment. So it's tilted to one part. And then I will struggle as the only one person committed to that vision of the relationship. This is why both of us need to be committed to this. And this commitment has to be in the area of spirituality. Are you both committed to that vision by praying to make sure that that vision comes to limelight? Are you committed financially? I remember while I was engaged, myself and my husband, then we agreed that okay, a certain amount of our salary will be saving for the nearest future. So for our marriage plan and for every other expenses we will have to incur during the process of getting married. And so every month there's a portion of our salary that we're saving to a particular account. That's commitment. I can't say, oh yeah, I want to marry you, but then I don't think I can be committed. You have to carry everything. No, both of you need to be committed. The scripture says, one, we chase 1,000. Two, we put 10,000 to flight. So that commitment needs to come into place. The next one is principle of companionship. Your best friend should be your partner. And so it's not something that happens in a day, but then you can cultivate friendship. And one of the reasons why marriage or relationship exists is for companionship. You can have somebody to share your mind with, you can have somebody to rub minds together with. So you need that same person to help you in the area. Oh, I'm feeling like this today. Oh, I really am done. I don't even know what is happening. But then what do? You need that person to carry you through in that phase of when things are fine, when things are not fine, you'll be there for yourself. So start learning it even while you are in relationship. Before you will need that skill when you get married. And I tell you, everything will not be bed of roses when you get married. So you need to build this principle even while you are in your relationship. Number seven, principle of faithfulness. The scripture says, a faithful man who can find. I tell you, it's not just a faithful man, but a woman also who is faithful. And then one good thing about the virtuous woman, the character that scripture paints about this woman, is that the heart of her husband can solely trust in her. Why? Because she's faithfully doing the needful things she knows to do at all the time without being weary nor being tired. Faithfulness is one of the principles that keeps a home. I hear people, relationship coach and everyone advise ladies or the wives, do this for your husband to keep your wife, to keep your husband, do this to keep your husband, and then the woman is everywhere doing everything just to keep the man. I tell you, if that man does not have the fear of God, and if he has not built and believed that he can be faithful to you, if you do everything from A to Z, if he will still indulge in sexual immorality outside of the home, he will do it. So the only thing that keeps him is this principle of faithfulness. I have decided that it is you and you alone. So it is on both parties. It is not just one person. It is both of you that should be faithful. Faithfulness to the commitment of the vision of the relationship. You have to be faithful in all things. And then the principle of labor and reward. Everybody sows, everybody labors. But then most of us do not know that our actions and inactions are labor. And they are seeds waiting for germination, waiting for a great harvest. Your words are labor. Actions you put in place, they are labor. So everything you involve in, whether actions or inactions, your words and all of that, they are labor. And then I tell you, everything that you labor to do will surely bring an harvest. And that's why we say, beware of what you sow, even in your relationship. Principle of labor and reward is key. While a single lady, one of the things I used my singlehood period to do was to invest in kingdom activities. I so much love the Lord. Everything I've got to do and I know how to do, I do not take it away from the Lord. I ensure I lavish all on Christ. And truly, I entered into marriage and I was able to see that God really brought the reward of the faithful service I have done for Him in His household. So while being single, both of you should be involved in kingdom activities. What can you do to better your local church? What can you do to better lives of people on the street? What can you do for the less privileged? What do you think your home is bent to do? While you are even in that relationship, start doing it gradually. And so that labor of I mean, that labor, while you're still single, start doing it. By the time you get married, the labor starts coming in great measure. Lastly, principle of building. Every man builds, but the chiefest builder is God Himself. And so we take this clue from Him that as He has built our lives and as we have committed our lives to Him, it is also important that we commit to building. Building the vision, cultivating it and bringing it to flame. It's a principle that both of you should do what? Should be involved in. How about building lives? There are things God has helped you to do. There are things that He has taught you one way or the other. Also, pass it across to upcoming younger ones that such lessons can help them as they come up in life. Be involved in building the lives of people. Engage in soul-winning activities. Look beyond your present relationship. Use your singlehood period, even while you are engaged, to invest into kingdom activities. Build lives. Build the work of God with your finances, with your life, with your time, with all the resources at your disposal. And when you involve in this kind of activities, by the time you get married, it becomes easy for you to also continue in that act of building and cultivating the vision that God has given to your home. And then you see that you begin to see the results. So today, we've spoken about 10 principles to having a successful relationship. I know you want to have a successful relationship. Put these 10 things into use and you will see that your relationship will thrive. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for joining in today. Bye for now.